Okay. Hello, welcome to my Q&A Friday. Yesterday I was sick. I did not make a video. Well, I made a video to tell you I was sick and I was not making a video. Thank you for all the well wishes. It was some kind of 24-hour thing. My stomach does not feel 100% back to normal, so I'm gonna avoid things like dairy for the next, I don't know how many days. But I'm feeling much better. Thank God. Thank you all for the nice wishes. I'm really glad that's over. It's hard to be sick anytime, but it's really hard to be sick when you are an adult and have a family to take care of. Okay, before we get into this, I'd just like to give a little shout out. Do you remember this? This bracelet? This is incredible. If you watched the video, 11,000 subscribers, I talked about how I had been like sick-ish for a month. I couldn't breathe, I had congestion, and I realized it was due to stress. Personal family issues that have been going on with me. That was just something I was trying to deal with, and one of the byproducts of that stress was that I was congested all the time. I thought it was allergies, I thought it was a cold, and it turned out to be stress. If you remember the package I got, the TMI package, one of the things in that package from Sylvia was this bracelet. She also sent me this, an essential oil blend called Breathe, and it's a respiratory blend. So I took the essential oil blend, I put a drop on the rocks, and then I let it sit for a little while, and then I put it on. The second day, 24 hours after putting that on, I was no longer congested. I still had a little bit of a runny nose, but I could, like, it wasn't just stuffed completely. I was amazed. I was so happy. And then another 24 hours later, and my congestion and my runny nose was almost completely gone. I did a lot of other things also to kind of counter the stress, so maybe it was a combination of countering the stress and then having the essential oils. But ever since, I have had clear breathing passages, clear airways. I can breathe. Finally, it feels so incredible, and essential oils is something I really believe in. I actually am certified in aromatherapy, so it's something that I have a lot of practice with. I'm familiar with it. I really believe in it. I know that things like essential oils work for many different things in our lives. It's a very holistic approach to healing in life that I like so much. So thank you, Sylvia. Amazing. Definitely gonna keep using this. Let's get into it, shall we? Most of the times I feel like I need a lot of questions to make an interesting video, but what I found is when I have so many questions, the video ends up being way too long and then I cut out questions. So I'm gonna try to do shorter answers, not as many questions, and see if I get through the few. There's like some classic, typical questions that I feel people ask are kind of like the classic Q&A question. And then there was some other that were really like interesting and specific that I hadn't thought of before. Have I ever visited Maribor? No and yes. I went to Maribor to visit a client, and I literally went to their place and then left. I actually really have this in mind for a long time, that I want to take Olivia and Leia and take the train, because Olivia really, like, I think she would love it. She's never been on the train, but she loves to watch trains. So I want to take her on the train and go to Maribor and kind of like have a day there and then take the train back. The only thing is it's quite a long trip by train. Maybe she would enjoy it. I feel like a good trip would be like a half an hour. And I think to Maribor it's at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours. Do you like Slovenian music? It's so different from music that I grew up with. It's very different from American style music, if you know what I mean. I'll say this. When you're at a wedding and it's like well into the night and people have been drinking wine for the whole day and you are like dancing, like, Slovenian music is the best. It's the best to dance to. Like, you could dance to that all night long. It's fun, it's upbeat, it's like just the right tempo. It is still really humorous to me when people use that kind of music for serious, what seems to me like a serious event. It seems like such funny music that would make you laugh, or that's very like cartoon-like. When you have the bride like being presented to everybody, it seems so strange to me to have that kind of music. Otherwise, I do like it. It's very different, but it's a lot of fun. If you could visit any city or place in the world, where would it be? I definitely want to go see like the 7 wonders of the world. Like that's something that I really want to see. I think going to see the pyramids in Egypt would be amazing. That's definitely something I really want to do. If I had to choose somewhere to go right now, I think I would like to go to Ireland. Because I've never been there and every American I know loves it. I think it's very similar to our culture. It's a lot of fun. I think the social culture is very similar to American social culture, and I think like Americans just love Irish people. We just, I mean, we do. We have such a soft spot for them. So I think I'd really like, and it's beautiful. I'd say like Dublin, Ireland. That's where I'd like to go. Do I miss any specific food or candy that I don't have here that's in America? Yes, I miss Mexican food. I really miss real, authentic Mexican food. There's Mexican food here, but it just doesn't even come close. It's like Slovenian version of Mexican food. It's not like authentic Mexican food, and I really miss Mexican food. Candy, I don't eat a lot of candy, but I'll tell you what I miss. I miss mint chocolate chip ice cream. Like there's 2 kinds of mint ice cream. There's like the winter mint, and that's the delicious one. And then there's like menthol mint, and that's the not so delicious one. And I've had here where they have menthol mint ice cream. It's okay. And the best mint chocolate chip is the kind where the chocolate chip is like shaved. It's not chunks that you have to chew, but it's like the really finely shaved chocolate that kind of like has a little bite, but then it melts. I miss that. What superpower would you have and why? See, this is the question though. Is it just one superpower, or is it you have the superpowers of one superhero? I mean, the question said, what superpower, not superpowers. So I guess I can't be Spider-Man. Because that's like Spidey sense, spider strength. I guess this is just a bonus answer, but Spider-Man is for sure my favorite superhero. Not in today's standards. Spider-Man has become something very different from the Spider-Man who was originally crafted into history. But like Spider-Man from the comic books, Spider-Man from the 90s cartoon, like that is the Spider-Man of my like childhood that I cherish, that I love. And if I could have one superpower though, this might be a twist. I think I always wanted to have the superpower to like fly, to be able to fly. I always thought that would be the best superpower ever. In a way, I think it still is because it just sounds so wonderful and magical and like exhilarating. I don't think you could ever get tired of flying, right? If it wasn't to fly though, I would definitely want to have like Professor X's superpowers, like the telekinetic. I don't know why, but I always kind of imagined that would be like somehow I have it, I just need to know how to unlock it. Like I remember as a child thinking like I could use my mind to do things. I feel like I didn't give a specific answer, but if I could choose one, it's always been a toss-up for my whole life. It's been a toss-up of that, to fly or to have like Professor X's mind powers. Professor X is just like, I feel like it's a much nobler choice. I feel like Professor X's powers though are far superior to the just flying, but flying would be more fun. But you could read other people's minds. You could become really corrupt. I don't know. Am I a good enough person to be able to handle the burden of that superpower? I don't know if I have an answer for that. And the final question, which I was really impressed by, was, are your kids raised more like Slovene or more like American? I have to say, I think they're probably more American culturally, even though we're living in Slovenia. I don't know, but now that Olivia is going to kindergarten, she goes to Vrtec, I think she's very equally. She's even more Slovenian now, I think, than she is American. So it's a toss-up. Luca is not a very typical Slovenian man. He's not so grounded in his culture that would influence us so much. Me living here outside of my American culture has changed me a lot so that I'm not so typical Slovenian. I'm not so typical American anymore. And this is something that I feel might be difficult for them later on, but I don't feel like they're very typically one or the other. And I think that might be hard for them. They might feel maybe in the future that they don't fit in because they are not very Slovenian and they're not very American. So they might have trouble adapting to whichever place they're in. It's something I really think about a lot, and they kind of get this blend, and that's just the way it is when you have an international family, I guess. So international, intercultural family. It's definitely got its challenges. It's definitely got its benefits. Okay, thank you for joining me on this Q&A Friday. I appreciate it. Thank you for the questions. I feel like we should have somewhere where throughout the week you can ask questions that at the end of the week I answer them. Like a subreddit. I just don't know if I want to commit to a subreddit. I don't know if we're ready for that step in our relationship, quite honestly. If you have a question you want me to answer, put it in the comments below and I will use that for the next video. That's the way we're gonna do this from now on. That sounds like a great idea. By the way, thank you to everyone who answered on the poll I made on my channel. I made a poll asking what kind of videos you liked the most. Outdoor adventure came in the lead at 45%. I was amazed. A lot of people like that, although I thought that would probably be the one that people like. And then 30% Q&A, that surprised me the most. I know people like Q&A, but I didn't know they liked it that much. And then the indoor conversations, that was great. And then reviews, how-to. Honestly, how-tos are not my favorite videos, so I'm glad that was like the bottom of the barrel. I like doing the outdoor adventure. They're just definitely the most difficult, the most time-consuming, like the most effort goes into the outdoor adventure ones. But they're always the ones that I'm the most happy with afterwards. Like they make me feel the most satisfied because I feel like that's a good video. So more outdoor adventure videos to come. In fact, tomorrow we are traveling, not very far. We will be in Vrhnika, so if you will be there, I will be happy to see you. And thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please like it. If you like me, please subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.